OpenAI acquires Jony Ive's startup in a $6.5 billion deal to build AI hardware. 1.2 billion Facebook user records were allegedly scraped via an API exploit. And Jensen said restrictions on chip exports is the wrong strategy. Welcome to Hashtag Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. The man behind many of Apple's bold design moves is moving to OpenAI. And if you thought I meant Steve Jobs had been brought back to life, no. But the next best thing is that OpenAI has acquired the AI device startup I.O., founded by legendary iPhone designer Jony Ive, for a stock deal valued at $6.5 billion. Ives worked with Steve Jobs after Jobs returned to Apple in 1997. He had a 27-year-long career at Apple. During that time, Jobs and Ives launched a number of game-changing products, including the iPhone. Ives left Apple in 2019 to found his own company. There's no clear announcement of what product OpenAI will be making, but there's a vast number of possibilities ranging from cars, robots, even AI-powered glasses like those from Google and Meta. But we can be certain that whatever the vision is, given Ives' track record, it will be something that will be a huge disruptor in a field that is already moving at light speed. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman and Jony Ive have been collaborating for over a year, sharing a vision of how to redefine how users interact with technology through AI. The deal brings in I.O.'s 55-person team comprising former Apple executives like Evans Hankey and Tang Tan into OpenAI's operations. While Ive's personal firm, LoveFrom, will remain independent, it will lead design efforts in both OpenAI and I.O. The collaboration aims to develop physical AI embodiments, potentially including devices like AI-powered wearables, robots, or even vehicles. The first product is expected to launch in 2026. This is OpenAI's largest acquisition to date, and it signals a significant expansion into hardware. The move positions OpenAI to compete with tech giants like Apple, Google, and Meta, who are also exploring AI-integrated devices. But the success of this venture could reshape the landscape of personal technology and set new standards for AI integration into hardware. At the Computex conference in Taipei, NVIDIA CEO Jensen had the courage to say what everybody already knows, openly criticizing U.S. export restrictions on AI chips to China, labeling them as a failure and precisely the wrong policy. He argued that these controls have inadvertently accelerated China's domestic AI development, diminishing NVIDIA's market share in the region. Huang highlighted that NVIDIA's share in the Chinese market has plummeted from 95% to 50% over the past 4 years. He emphasized that Chinese tech companies, bolstered by government support, have intensified their efforts to develop local AI hardware. The export control gave them the spirit, the energy, and the government support to accelerate their development, Huang stated. He also noted that this has had an impact on the American economy, stating that the money NVIDIA has lost could have been used to create more jobs in the U.S. Huang also expressed concerns over the broader implications of these policies, noting that approximately half the world's AI researchers are now based in China. He stressed the importance of collaboration, stating, "We want AI researchers to build on NVIDIA. DeepSeek was built on NVIDIA. That's a gift to us, and that's a gift to the world." Huang further criticized the U.S. decision to ban the export of NVIDIA's H20 chip to China, which was specifically designed to comply with earlier export controls. He revealed that the company had already degraded the chip so severely to meet restrictions that he indicated further downgrading was simply not feasible. In response to these challenges, Huang acknowledged the need for the U.S. to reassess its approach to AI technology exports. He warned that continued restrictions could lead to a proliferation of non-American AI leadership and technology worldwide, potentially undermining the U.S.'s position in the global AI landscape. The U.S. government has indicated plans to revise its AI export policies, aiming to balance national security concerns with the need to maintain technological competitiveness. However, the timeline and specifics of these new regulations remains uncertain. Huang's candid remarks are not without some risk. When other tech leaders have dared to oppose the current administration, they've found themselves threatened with the full weight of the U.S. government and the loss of many contracts. Huang did try to add some faint praise for President Trump's push to move chip manufacturing to the U.S., but noted that it would be impossible to move all chip manufacturing onshore, as NVIDIA uses almost 1 million components sourced from a number of countries. Huang also tried to quell some of the rumors about NVIDIA expanding to build an R&D center in China, given that NVIDIA is now moving to larger premises there. He dismissed the comments with a joke, saying, "The reason we need new offices is we don't have enough chairs. If one person types, the other person has to stop." It could be a joke, or it could be a subtle warning that maybe the U.S. needs NVIDIA more than NVIDIA needs the U.S. Hackers claim to have scraped a massive database containing 1.2 billion Facebook user records by exploiting one of the platform's APIs. The dataset, reportedly posted on a popular data leak forum, includes personal information such as user IDs, names, email addresses, usernames, phone numbers, locations, birthdays, and more. Cybernews' research team examined a sample of 100,000 records from the leaked data and found the information appears legitimate. However, they advise caution regarding the attackers' claims of 1.2 billion records, as the full dataset has not been independently verified. The hackers assert that this is a new dataset, not a compilation of previously leaked information. If that's true, this would represent one of the largest data scrapes from Facebook to date. The incident highlights ongoing concerns about the security of publicly accessible but still sensitive data on social media platforms. Repeated incidents suggest a pattern of reactive rather than proactive security measures by Facebook, particularly concerning publicly visible yet sensitive information. The exposure of such a vast amount of personal data increases the risk of phishing, scams, identity theft, and long-term privacy issues for affected users. Cybersecurity experts have emphasized the need for stronger safeguards and transparency to protect user data. Facebook users should be watching for new phishing and fraud attempts. As I've said before, I normally do these types of cybersecurity announcements on our other show, Cybersecurity Today, but sometimes the risks are so big that you really want to make sure everyone knows. Any Facebook user should be watching for new phishing and fraud attempts and be suspicious of any unsolicited communications and avoid sharing personal information with unverified sources. As of now, Meta has not publicly commented on the alleged data scrape. But with fraud and phishing attempts targeting older and vulnerable people, it would be very advisable to have a chat with others that you know. Remind them that any unsolicited contact should be viewed as suspicious, and with modern technology, any request for money or information should be viewed as doubly suspicious, even if it looks and sounds like a person you know. No matter how urgent, they should always take the time to double-check with someone who can help them. And if you listen to this program or to our other show, Cybersecurity Today, you could offer to be that person they check with when they have a question. And that's our show. If you're one of our Canadian listeners, that downtime at Bell Canada wasn't a security issue. It was a faulty implementation, and they've rolled back the code, so everything should be up and running in time to hear this episode tomorrow morning. I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a thrilling Thursday.